the special conversation. India is aggressively reshaping the global trade footprints. And one such example is the crucial, or should I say the landmark deal which has been inked. India and European Union trade deal has been sealed, and the man who was leading the trade talks is the Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal ji. He's joining me here. Mr. Goyal, this has been in the making for 18 years. What made it possible now?
I think there was lack of courage of conviction when the Congress-led UPA government initiated talks 2006, 20 years ago. They launched in 7, aborted in 13, after 6 years, many rounds, because they didn't really understand the dynamics of a trade agreement with the developed world. They were not able to appreciate that the complementarities between the developed world and a developing country will safeguard the interests of our labor-intensive sectors, will open up opportunities for millions to get jobs, to get trading and export opportunities, and will help the Indian economy improve in terms of quality, improve in terms of its ability to grow faster. That government basically was weak in its understanding of economic fundamentals. And we saw that the way they steered the economy to literally become a fragile 5 economy by 14. It is Prime Minister Narendra Modi who recognized that India has the potential, and 140 crore Indians today have made it a collective vision to make India a developed and prosperous nation by 2047. And no country in the world has become a developed nation by living in isolation. You have to allow markets to flourish. You have to look for international trade to grow. You have to bring the best of technologies to your country. You have to attract a lot of capital to your country. And therefore, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the last 4 years has entered into 8 free trade agreements with 37 countries in the aggregate. All of them are developed nations. None of them with less than $20,000 per capita income. Therefore, in a way, insulating our economy from any competition really, because our $3,000 per capita economy makes products which don't really compete. They complement the developed world. At the same time, opening the doors to large investments to flow in, improving our own quality standards, improving what we produce and what we serve our consumers. Therefore, 140 crore customers, consumers, will get a better deal in life. So it's a very holistic, comprehensive vision of a developed India that we are working on and that are reflected in our free trade agreements.
Soon after the signing of that deal, you addressed a press conference. I was there attending that press conference. Mr. Goyal, you had spoken about one particular sector, which was textiles. You said in textile sector alone, 6 to 8 million jobs will be created. So which sectors, according to you, will be the biggest winners? And is there a timeline or a roadmap that you are seeing?
I'd just like to draw the attention of your viewers to the textile story, because this has been an oft-repeated comment across the country. We often heard people complain that Bangladesh could export $30 billion worth of textiles to EU. Vietnam did more than 2 times our exports to EU in textiles. And we were doing a measly $7 billion out of the $253 billion of exports that the EU does every year. Just barely less than 3%. But that was because Bangladesh had zero duty access, being a less developed country. Vietnam had an FTA with the European Union. We were paying duties as high as 9, 10, 12%, because of which we were not competitive. That differentiation now goes away. As soon as it becomes effective later this year, the textiles, all textiles from India will get zero duty access from day one. Can you imagine the humongous potential? And textiles, as you know, is a very job-creating, job-intensive sector. Similarly, leather goods, footwear, sports goods, toys, our fisheries, the marine products that we export, our agri products, particularly as we process them into finished products. I mean, today a Haldiram gets a huge valuation because worldwide there's a demand for packaged Indian goods. In my humble view, almost all labor-oriented goods that we export, and we currently also are exporting $35 billion worth of labor-intensive products to the European Union out of $75 billion of export. That can grow by leaps and bounds. Our industry has to come to speed. Our industry has to grab the opportunity, come out of that cozy comfort, make high-quality products to meet the European demand, and sky is the limit.
Okay, so tell me, since you were going through back and forth, I want to understand the backstory as well. What, according to you, was one thing that has worked in this deal which you have not managed to get from the US so far?
Every free trade agreement stands on its own legs. The economic situation, the potential demand, the ease of doing business or exporting to the country, the particular areas which are sensitive, which need to be protected, all of these differ from country to country. And therefore, I don't think any trade deal can be looked upon from the lens of another trade deal.
You spoke about 8 deals which have been inked in the last 4 years, of which 6 in the last 1.5 years. So there is this urgency and also perhaps a realization that there is need for strategic partnership. Is this association more to do with unpredictability in the White House?
Not at all. After all, we launched, let's say, take the European Union agreement. It was first decided that we should enter into a free trade agreement at Porto India-EU Summit in 2021. Coincidentally, Ms. von der Leyen was the EU Commission President and Mr. Da Costa was the Prime Minister of Portugal, and he's a person of Indian origin. At that time it was decided. Mid-22 it was launched. We've negotiated over the last 3.5 years. I don't think there was any turbulence or any other issue that could influence the relation between European Union and India. It's a deal in the making for a long period of time, successfully navigated on both sides so that it's a win-win for both countries, both the 27 European countries and India. And with this successful conclusion, we have not only been able to safeguard our sensitive sectors like rice, sugar, wheat, soya, corn, dairy, none of these have been opened up. But we've been able to get an opening for all the sectors of our interests, which will provide huge opportunities for export, provide huge jobs and business and investment potential in India, which will also help us get high-tech products or, let's say, cancer drugs. We'll get them cheaper for the cancer patients. Isn't that great for consumers? We'll be able to get more and more manufacturing of engineering products, auto components, automobiles drawn to India for the Indian market and from India for Africa, for Latin America, for other Asian countries. India will become a hub because the more relationships we develop with other countries, the more India has a potential to become the source for sales across the world.
So are you seeing this as some kind of a large trade reset?
Oh yes, it's a defining moment in India's history. Most people never imagined this 27-nation developed country bloc could ever enter into a free trade agreement with India. Most people thought India is too scared. Today, India is not a scared nation. India negotiates from a position of strength.
So since you're talking about that, let me remind our viewers of what the European Commission President, Madam Ursula, said. She praised you personally and said that you are a tough negotiator, a good negotiator. What, according to you, makes you one?
No, I think that was just her graciousness. I'm a very simple person. I negotiate under the guidance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He really empowers his ministers. He really encourages us to give our best. And the beauty of working with Prime Minister Modi is that his counsel really helps you take the right decision. And he has your back. He'll always support you, encourage you to be bold, has trust in your abilities to take the right decisions, and will never ever make you backtrack once you have made a decision. He encourages us to take strong decisions. He always reminds us that we have to look after the interests of 140 crore Indians, but at the same time, when we are negotiating, we have to remember we have the support of a strong economy strengthened by the skills and talent of 1.4 billion Indians. We have an economy which is going to grow from 4 trillion today to a $35 trillion economy. That's the delta of opportunity that we offer. And that's why we are able to negotiate from a position of strength.
Many would say that the phrase that has been used, mother of all deals, was something that was coined by you. So tell us the background of that story, because mother of all deals, that's how Madam Ursula spoke about. Prime Minister Modi said that this is a deal for global good. How is it really a deal of global good? Because, sir, this is about 27 nations, European Union and India. Globe is still bigger.
Well, I think Ms. von der Leyen very rightly put it that this reflects nearly 1/3 of global trade between the two countries. You know, the European Union imports nearly $7 trillion of goods and little under $3 trillion of services. Our export to them is a minuscule proportion of that. Now we have such a large market opening up for us. Similarly, she recognizes, and every free trade deal is about the future. She recognizes that as we grow from a $4 trillion to a $30 trillion economy, what a huge opportunity the Indian business story markets is going to be, which is why I think she called it the mother of all deals.
Last time when I spoke to you, you were very optimistic about the US trade negotiations. You had said that it's progressing in the right way. Where do we stand on that today? Is it progress or pause?
No, it's very good progress. We are in continuous engagement with them. Often through video conferences, through messages, and our teams are engaged in discussing with their teams. So very good progress is being made, and I continue to be not only optimistic, very optimistic.
Couple of questions on your Karm Bhumi, that is Maharashtra, your home as well. I'm speaking to you on a day your dad would have been 100 years old. You remembered him very fondly. I was looking at the tweet that you have put out. He is not around to see your success. Your best memory of him?
Well, he was very, very particular all through his life that whatever we do with perfection. We do it very carefully and never miss out on the fine detail. I remember every time if I ever went to him with some paper or something that I had prepared, or sometimes even a letter I may have prepared to somebody, he could find, he had an eye for detail. He could take out 20 areas where you could do better. And that gradually rubs off on you. And then it rubs off on your next generation. So we've inherited a lot of good qualities from him. Maybe not been truly diligent in every quality, but for example, he was very, very particular about punctuality and time. I wish I could be equally punctual and on time. So there are some missed opportunities, but it's a day on which one can reflect and look at what one could do better in the future. But I have very fond memories of his teachings about high level of integrity in public service, his teachings about how we could reach out to more and more people through the field of politics, how he was very conscious that we must stand on our own feet economically before we delve into full-time public life. So he himself worked 30 years before he stopped everything and became a full-time party worker. While he continued to work for the party in his job, while doing a job, but he made sure that he had enough money and capital to live an honest life all through after retirement, while he could work for the party. He gave all of us very good quality education. The entire family focus was high quality education. My brother was is an engineer from IIT Kanpur, topped his university, went to MIT, did very well there, worked for a few years, came back to India and is now serving in India. Sisters, everybody studied very well. I did my chartered accountancy and law. So he was very clear that you all have to stand on your own feet. I worked 30 years in the private sector before I became a minister and have to give up everything on 26 May 2014. I never got any public office or any important position while he was alive.
That's right.
There's no dynastic inheritance that I've got from him just because I'm his son. He passed away in 2008. I was a small functionary in Mumbai at that point of time. So I think it was the party's graciousness that they brought me to Delhi in 10 formally, even though I'd been working in national politics and national elections ever since 1989. But I got a formal position only in 2010, 2 years after he passed away. And the Honorable Prime Minister was truly very, very generous in giving me an opportunity to serve the nation in 14.
There is a power transition happening in your state. It is happening, of course, after a tragedy. Ajit Pawar has worked very closely with you. Late Ajit Pawar had worked, I should say. Today, his wife is taking charge. How do you look at this transition?
Well, we'll miss Ajit Dada a lot. He was a very, very good administrator. He served the state of Maharashtra for nearly 40 years. A people's leader, very, very much loved by his constituents, by the people of Maharashtra. And we will all miss him dearly in the Mahayuti. And on a personal note, I will certainly miss that charming smile and the jovial nature that he always had. But I wish Sunetra Bhabhi the best in her public service as she takes on the mantle of the Deputy Chief Minister today. And I'm sure she'll do him proud with her simple nature, yet very compassionate demeanor.
Mr. Goyal, thank you for speaking to India Today.
Thank you.